edition of the monthly media chat. The promise made during the campaign to make himself available at all times to interact with you. The national anthem, please. Hello. Okay, because time is of essence, permit me to yield the floor for His Excellency for his opening remarks, after which I will hand the microphone over to Chinezere Mabakuru of the BCA and Moses Ben of Rapid FM. You're welcome, Your Excellency, sir.
Good evening, Abians. Good evening, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, commissioners in the House, other top government appointees. You are welcome. Let me thank you for joining this edition of our media chat. I want to thank you for reporting Abia State truthfully. Of course, we do know that there are some people who are paid to peddle falsehood. But like I've always said, anywhere that good seeds are planted, the devil also plants tares, as written in the Bible. So we refuse to be distracted by the propagandists and their propaganda. But all of us live here, so we know what is happening here. If you don't mind, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I will request that we observe a minute's silence in honor of two compatriots that we lost not too long ago. The first is the first democratically elected governor of this state, His Excellency Dr. who we honored today at the International Conference Center with a commendation service, who will be laid to rest in his hometown, Uburu, tomorrow in Abia State. The second is the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Laja, who passed on a few days ago, who was also a friend of the state, had visited us here and has supported security arrangement here. So if you don't mind, let's just stand up and observe a minute's silence for them. May their souls and the souls of other faithfully departed rest in the bosom of the Lord. Let's be seated. All right, so let me once again thank all of us that joined. And before I hand over the microphone to Ferdinand to continue with the rest of the program, including coordination of question and answers. As usual, I start my briefing with giving us a summary of what had happened in Abia between the last time this chat heard and today. I want to start with the area of foreign investment and investment generally. Within the period, we set up the Abia State Public-Private Partnership and Investment Promotion Agency and inaugurated the board. They have started work. We had to pause a little bit before setting that up for the simple reason that we felt that we needed to build the blocks upon which our drive for investment will rest. And 1 year, 5 months down the line, I think we have started building the foundation. We may not be where we want to be yet, but at least I believe that we have moved from where we were May 29, 2023. The National Bureau of Statistics published a report that showed that our state came from about number 27 in terms of attraction of foreign investment to number 3 out of 37, immediately following Lagos and Abuja, or FCT. And within the period June 2023 and June 2024, our state attracted almost $151 million, $150.9 million to place third. We have always said that foreign investment, as a matter of fact, investment is not emotional, but rational. So investment and investors don't listen or pay so much attention to platitudes and words. They look at actions. So without any campaign for investment, we have had a lot of people coming to set up their businesses here, and others are in the process of doing so. You would have also noticed that in terms of the prices of real estate. Somebody was telling me that a land he priced some months ago, about a year ago, and should have acquired it for about, I think, 10 million naira. And he waited, and he has gone back there, and the land is now going for 60 million naira. That is to give you an indication of, in spite of inflation and then exchange rates, but then it just shows that value is being created. I believe it was yesterday, and even day before yesterday, we had teams of investors coming in, one of them led by the leader of OPM in Port Harcourt, Apostle Chibuzogif Chinyere. He led 3 investment groups, one from Italy, another one from Turkey, and yet another one from the US. And they're all interested in investing in Abia State. And we continue to work on the enabling environment to ensure that businesses find our state comfortable. And once businesses find us comfortable, they will come. We also had the Aki Kenga think tank group visiting yesterday and discussing a tech hub and a sort of computer village that they are looking at to attract a lot of our brothers and sisters who are elsewhere today back to Igbo land. A major focus of this government has been road infrastructure, because we believe that if you don't build roads, then you wouldn't be doing so much in attracting investment. We continue with our Operation Zero Pothole, continue to work on existing roads that we are dilapidated through our direct labor agency under the Ministry of Works, and a lot have been achieved. But then within this period, we have also awarded a few roads. One of them is the expansion and reconstruction of the Onu-Imo, and that is the boundary between Imo State from Mbise to Tower. And it's a 5.5 kilometer road that has been awarded to Kremborg, and they are supposed to dualize the road and make it more make it better for road users. And work has started on that. There is also the construction of Onuenyang, Oburenyi, Obuoro, Ikuano road. And sections of that road, totaling about 29 kilometers. We have also awarded the entire Mbose Omuala road, 11.5 kilometer road in Isialangwa North. We also have awarded the reconstruction of the Obehie, Omudobia, Owaza road. That is in Okwa West, and it's 11.1 kilometers. We're also constructing a road from Mbala to Omwako, Ngodo, in Umunnochi. And that road is 11.27 kilometers. We have also awarded Umuogo Nsukwe Ring Road, Obakala. We have also awarded Ohanze, Nteozo, Obete, Omoha, Oberete, Akrekobu Road. And this goes through Obingwa and connects Okwa East. And this road is about 13 kilometers. And we also have awarded the construction of the Omo Opera Ring Road. This is a 6.92 kilometer road in Omuahia South. A few others are also in the works. We have ongoing projects. Some of them are signature projects that are so important to us. One of them is the Osisioma Eka Para Road. Work is intensifying, and our engineers are also putting pressure on the contractors. Ohanku Road is another major one that we are handling with rigid pavement technology, that's cement. The report I get is that work is going on very, very well there, and the contractors are also serious. Another one is the Omuma Road. It's a dual carriageway, and we're also using cement technology, and work is going on well there. The Werenta Omweka Road, and that is from the boundary all the way into Omweka. Work is going on there, expansion of the road, dualization, and bringing down some of the properties after compensation would have been paid. Cemetery Phase 2. The road is also going well. I believe that before the end of the year, we will commission it. And of course, the Omuahia, Uzuakole, Abreba, Onhapia Road, that is also going well. The Onhapia Arochukwu Road is also going well. And of course, the Ndiokreke Abam, all the way to Onhapia, that is also going very well. I will not forget Port Harcourt Road. As a matter of fact, the outgoing managing director of Julius Beja came to visit me 2 days ago to introduce his successor, and they already committed that the road will be completed by or before the end of February 2025. So those are going well. In terms of agriculture, the 300 Abia sons and daughters we sent for training, we are just given instruction that the funds we approved for them be released to them so that they can hit the ground running. We are not just doing infrastructure, we are also developing capacity and building capacity. We had an inaugural human capital development workshop to strengthen the capacity of our people in various sectors of the economy, not just in the civil service, but civil service very important, but then other areas of the economy. My deputy was on hand to represent me at the flag off, and the report I have is that it's going well, and just today, and in this hall, we inaugurated the Greater Ohafia Development Agency, GODA. The board was inaugurated with the chairman, Professor Awakalo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, the General Manager, or Director General, Engineer Obin Nodum, and other board members. We all inaugurated, and shortly after the inauguration, they held their first meeting. So they hit the ground running. And like I had said at the time that I was signing the GODA law, the whole purpose is to ensure even development of the state and complete the tripod of the three parts of Abia. Aba, we have the Greater Aba Development Agency. Umuahia, we have the UCDA, Umuahia Capital Development Authority, and the tripod has now been completed with the establishment of the Greater Ohafia Development Agency. I think our people are very excited, particularly about the quality of the board members, and we have no doubt that they are going to deliver. Just last week, we heard the much talked about local government election, and it was seamless. The election was adjourned, one of the freest and fairest election that had been done in this part of the globe. And I want to congratulate the Abia State Independent Electoral Commission, APSEC, for a job well done. Congratulate the Ministry and the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs for all the support. And thank Abia people for coming out en masse to cast their votes and exercise their right to choose their candidates. You will realize that virtually all the parties, except one or two, participated. And like we had assured our people, their right to choice was protected. And we even had a councillor emerging from one of the local governments where, unfortunately, the party from where the councillor emerged fielded no candidate. And what that speaks to is that it was a free and fair process. And I'd like to thank everyone that contributed to it. We have had to swear in the mayors and their deputies, the new mayors and their deputies, on Monday. And they've hit the ground running. They've sworn in their councillors, and they've started work. In the next 2 days, I'll be hosting the outgone and the incoming, or the present mayors and their deputies in Umuahia here to thank the ones that had contributed in this past 1 year to move our state forward. Virtually all of them did a fantastic job, and we appreciate the job they did. And they set a good foundation upon which the new mayors will just start seamlessly. We continue to make progress in healthcare delivery. I have just signed off on the reconstruction of about 200 primary healthcare centers in the 3 senatorial zones of the state and 17 local governments. Very soon you'll see that work will start in the primary health care centers around you. By the time we are done with the 200, we'll move to the next 200 until we've touched every primary health care center. And at the same time, the 22 secondary health care centers are also receiving attention step by step. The whole idea is to ensure that there is a good hospital, a good health center for every one of us to use anytime we have need for them. We are not stopping at that. We are also working hard to ensure that we attract the right personnel and pay competitive compensation package to all of them. The Honorable Commissioner for Health is working very closely with me on that. I'm also sure that you are aware that by the end of October, like we promised, the new minimum wage came into effect, and we sat down with organized labor and agreed on not just the new minimum wage of 70,000, but the consequential adjustments. And payment was made, I believe, last week. I've received a few reports that there were some errors, some tax computation issues, and I've directed the Accountant General and the Commissioner for Finance to sit down, look at those and correct those errors so that we don't have complaints coming from there. We continue with our efforts to sanitize the civil service. I'm sure you would have had reports about some civil servants who were involved in pension fraud. Our tolerance for corruption is zero. And once we got convincing information, we had to arrest the people involved. Unfortunately, some of the vuvuzelas of the opposition who are so shameless went on air to castigate the government. My question is, somebody stole and I arrested him, and you went to press to say I shouldn't arrest a thief. That means you are a thief yourself. But I think we have responded to them, and we are continuing with their prosecution. As I was coming for this chat, I got a report of the investigation from the security agencies. And I have authorized that in the next few days, they should be arraigned before the court to come and tell us how come they are stealing from the state. From the report I got, there are about 10 or 11 of them. Some of them are outside the country. We are going to repatriate them to answer to their sins. We can't tolerate that kind of corruption. It is as if we are fools here. So we can't tolerate, no matter who is involved. And I think people who are defending thieves, we need to treat them as thieves themselves. So I'm issuing a warning that there is a limit to opposition. The government must do what it has to do. The government can never, ever be intimidated. So I think so far, a few updates, and if you call my attention, I would give you the current status. For joining this chat, and I'll throw the floor open now for questions and answers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. At this point, I'm going to hand the microphone over to Chinezere Mabakuru of the BCA and Moses Ben of Rapid FM. But before then, may I humbly once again appeal to us to put our phones on silent mode, please, so that the phones don't become a distraction to us. Please, kindly adhere. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for the update. Distinguished colleagues will now open up the floor for your questions. Before we go on to take the questions, I'd like to remind us that we are live on BCA 88.1 FM, Flow 94.9 FM, Family Love 99.9, Magic 102.9, Vision Africa 104.1, Real FM 99.9, Pace Setter 103.5 FM, Sun FM 91.3 Iberi, Sun FM 91.9 Aba, Zik 96.3 FM, Spin 95.3 FM, Rapid 96.5 FM. We're also streaming on AF News, ABN TV, Iberic TV, and other online platforms. To take the questions now, we shall begin with our colleagues from the television. Do we have the television colleagues here? Remember, we're taking 3 questions from each of the platforms: TV, radio, online, the print. Okay, so let's have Ben, over to you, pick.
All right, just to remind us, one question from each of these platforms. We'll begin with the television section. Please, anybody from the television indicate why we bring the microphone down to you.
Good evening, Your Excellency. Good evening, everyone. My name is Chinwe Ugele, and I work with News Central TV. Your Excellency, a few days ago, the Commissioner for Information informed us that the government had decided to relocate law faculty and agric faculty from Omaha campus to Uturu. I know that part of the reasons probably the previous administration cited those faculties in Omaha was because of proximity to research and facilities, especially for those of them in law, because they could access the courts easily. Your Excellency, the students are complaining that relocating them to Uturu would incur a lot of challenges for them. They talked about accommodation. They do not have enough accommodation in Uturu. They do not have water facilities. They do not also have steady power supply. Your Excellency, is there any chance of government taking another look at this decision so that parents don't have to go through a lot, and then the students as well? Thank you, Your Excellency.
Right, before His Excellency responds to that question, next question, still from the television section, please. All right, we've seen Nora of Arise Television or Arise News.
Good evening, Your Excellency. Good evening, colleagues. My name is Nora Ukafo. I report for Arise News. Asking questions, but I want to make a plea to you.
Your voice, your mic is not so loud now.
The technical team can as well address this issue.
Sorry for the break in transmission.
Okay, His Excellency just requested you come and make use of his microphone, please. Okay, you're okay with that one?
Yes,
all right, go ahead, please.
Thank you for the honor, sir. I'm making a plea on behalf of the people of Ututu in Arochukwu local government area. First of all, they appreciate your efforts for trying to make the road motorable for them as the festive season approaches. But they are asking that some of the schools in that community, especially Obomo Community School and Akasi Primary School, are actually in a very dilapidated condition. And I visited the area and I realized that the students in this particular secondary school do not have a learning environment. There are no structures there. They are all dilapidated. And so when they come to school, the few teachers there take them to their farms from morning till 2 p.m. and then they have to return home. And that is the learning process. I think you should look into that. Obomo is in Ukwaku in Ututu. And secondly, the primary health care center there also needs attention. They only have one nurse and there are no facilities available to cater for the needs of pregnant women. One of them said sometimes they have to make use of their phone lights because there is also no light there. Please, I am appealing on their behalf to come to their rescue. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
All right, the final question from the television section, please. A question. All right, Chamaka of TVC, please. The phone, please. Make use of the microphone.
TVC News. Sir, residents of cooperative, my close to Isi Gate, are beginning to complain. They say that the pace of work there is slow. I think it's up to maybe 6 months or thereabouts that the potholes were, opened up, and now there is another thing being constructed around that area. Once it's evening like this, you will see traffic around that area. So when you enter Keke, like we that enter Keke, you will hear a lot of people say that Dr. Alex Otti is doing well, but he is not fast with road construction. There are so many areas, work have been started there, but the speed is not, welcoming. So, sir, I don't know if you have any plans to speed up work at those places. Thank you so much, sir.
Your Excellency, you may have to respond to those issues raised by our colleagues tonight.
All right, thank you very much for those questions. Let me start with Chiwen's relocation of ABSU faculties of agriculture and law from Umuahia to Uturu. And you said that the complainants are talking about accommodation, power, and water. I can understand that it's not going to be a comfortable experience to relocate people. And anytime you want to make a change, you will always see people resist it. It's natural. But you see, there are other considerations. When you talk about nearness to court, the courtroom is not a classroom. And I can assure you that there are courtrooms in every location. And today we have taken the decision to build modern, sophisticated, technology-enabled broadband, renewable energy, all facilities in 17 courtrooms, one per local government in the first instance. And we've flagged that off and we've started. Just this evening, I signed off on a request for a transformer to be installed, a brand new transformer to be installed at Uturu for Abia State University. So I believe that will reduce the power supply challenges. Now, on water, we are also doing something great with water. In fact, I believe it should be about the 20th of this month, the USAID and the state government are going to be flagging off water projects in different parts of the state. We want to go back to that era where water will run in our taps, in our homes. So it's going to be flagged up. There's an Obakala water scheme and Ariaria water scheme. The two of them are going to be flagged off about the 20th, and the rest will follow. I've also instructed the Commissioner for Power and Public Utilities to acquire drilling rigs so that we can make water available for our people. So if we solve the water and power problem, then the accommodation problem is, I think it's exaggerated. But yes, before we move them, we must ensure that there is alternative accommodation for them. My understanding of where they are is also that that place is not very, very fit for purpose. So there are a lot of advantages we believe the faculties will begin to enjoy by the time they are all in the same university community. If there is anything that is required to make them comfortable, we will do it. I've also told the Vice Chancellor that we are not going to disorganize the university calendar. I understand that the accreditation is happening any moment from now. And I've said they need to stay back, finish the accreditation, maybe finish the session by February before relocating. So it's going to be done in an orderly manner. But would people complain? Absolutely yes. But over time, they will realize that that decision was the best decision and in their own interest. I believe I've explained that. Please do explain to them that this is my position. And I thought about it before I took that decision. Thank you very much. Nora, I don't know if you are from Ututu. Are you from Ututu? All right. So, yes, unfortunately, and I must admit, a lot of our schools have been in different stages of disrepair, and we are taking them one after the other and gradually. It took several decades to run them down the way they are today. And if we expect that in 1 year we will fix all schools, we may be expecting too much. But there's nothing wrong with expecting too much. We also have limited resources, but we are doing our best to ensure that we will retrofit all our schools. I've just talked about the 200 primary health care centers that have signed off for renovation. I just pray that the one you talked about in Ututu will be one of them. There are 200 spread across the 17 local governments. In fact, spread across the 184 wards. That is how we chose them. So I pray that the one at Inututu will be one of them. Nena Gabriel, cooperative Easy Gates, and the work that is going on there. Well, let me apologize. That is, we must go through the inconvenience to kind of think. By the time we are done, you forget the inconvenience. It's interesting to hear that people are now thinking that I'm too slow. Initially, I heard that I was too fast. But the reality is this. You know, during the rainy season, there's only so much you can do. There are some work that cannot happen during the rainy season. So now that the rains are gradually giving way, you will see that we'll resume the speed that we are noted for. Like I said, I have to apologize. But that of cooperative really, what caused the delay was that the design that I thought I saw when they started work, I went on inspection one Sunday and I found that the road was too narrow and I stopped them. And having stopped them, they came back to say that to expand the road, we need to take down some buildings. Interestingly, I just signed off on the compensation to be paid to the owners of those buildings we are taking off to expand the road. So I believe that in the next few days, those beneficiaries would have received their money. And you know our policy here is not to touch any property until we have paid compensation. So that is why the delay, because I know exactly what is happening there. But then the general response about delays is that within this period, and the rains have been excessive this year, I'm sure you can attest to that. But this is November. I believe that the rains will gradually go away and work will resume seamlessly in those sites. I believe that is all about Nena's questions, right? I hope you are satisfied. Thank you very much. All right, over to you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. We shall now take questions from the online media practitioners. Online.
All right, I can see candid reporters. Please, the microphone should be taken to you.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Kingsley Alozie. I write for Candid Reporters. The first is observation, Your Excellency. Workers from Umuahia South, teachers especially, they complained, and the matter has been raised here severally as regards their salary not being upgraded to how it's expected to be. But recently, I have, especially one of them came to say that adjustments have been made. One of our senior colleagues here also acknowledged that. But a question is still coming, complaint from that same Umuahia South. The question is that their checkup dues, which they've been deducting from their salary, is a kind of cooperative from last year, about 7 months, which ended last year, November. So they've not received that 7 months, and they've made effort writing to the Accountant General, even tried to assess him, but the security men will not let them assess him. Your Excellency, are you aware of this? And which way forward, if you think so?
All right, the next person is still from online print. Irregua, I have seen your hand, please.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My question will be coming from the Ministry of Environment.
Can you introduce yourself, please?
My name is Emenike Irebu. I am of the All Facts newspaper, sir. Recently, some staffs of the Ministry of Environment protested. And the issue was that for some years before you came to office, there was some deduction that was happening in their salaries. And they discovered that those deductions were illegal deductions because it was christened Christmas welfare. The commissioner in that particular ministry, when the matter came to his table, he raised a committee. The committee had brought out a report on that matter, and the committee found 3 people in the finance of that particular ministry, found them wanting. But for the past 2 months, that committee have dropped their work. There have not been any action on the committee report. So that is where the issue is, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, the final question from online media. All right, Faxi, please.
Good evening, His Excellency. My name is Ifani Okali for Abian TV and radio. His Excellency, Ohafia have been in darkness for 5 years. People are suffering there and business is not moving. His Excellency, I know you are a kind man. Please help Ohafians. Direct to my question today. There is a heavy insecurity in Umuahia. Recently, 3 persons were killed within 10 minutes. A banker lost his life somewhere at Isi Court. His Excellency, please, what level of support does the government provide to the police, and what measure will be taken to prevent such occurrence in future? Thank you very much, His Excellency.
So you may now have to address those questions.
Yes. All right, thank you very much. Kingsley Alozie, teachers from Umuahia South. We talked about check-off dues. I'm getting to know about that just now. And I would ask that the Accountant General and Commissioner for Finance will look into it and find out what is happening. But if it is check-off dues, I'm sure it must be somewhere hanging. So it should be resolved. Emenike Rebu, yes, I read, in fact, it was just this evening that I read the report about protests by the Ministry of Environment staff about illegal deductions, which you asked a question about now. I'm not very vast with that issue, but we will take it on board. If a committee was set up and they concluded their investigation and issued a report, it would be very strange to say that the report would drop off the table. So I'm going to take note of this, and I'm sure my appointees who are here are also taking note so that this matter will be resolved as quickly as possible. Ifeanyi Okali, yes, I'm aware that Ohafia has been in darkness. We are trying to resolve it. And I believe that setting up the Greater Ohafia Development Agency would bring things like this in focus. And it will be dealt with as quickly as possible. I'm aware of the unfortunate incident of the attack on 3 persons, one of them a banker, and actually the younger brother of a very close friend of mine. I've given instructions that the perpetrators of that dastardly act be fished out and dealt with. And the police is working around the clock to get the culprits. It's very unfortunate. It is not a. I'm not sure that it is something that has now defined Umuahia. It is a rare occurrence. I'm sure when you engage with the police, Operation Crush, and other security agencies, they will tell you that this government works very closely with them to ensure that there is security around the whole of Abia State. One thing I can assure you is that we will track down the culprits and we'll bring them to book. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I'd like to remind us that we are live on BCA 88.1 FM, Flow 94.9 FM, Family Love 99.9 FM, Magic 102.9 FM, Vision Africa 104.1 FM, Real FM 99.1, Payseta 103.5, Sun FM 91.3 Iberi, Sun FM 91.9 Aba, Zik 96.3 FM, Spin 95.3 FM, Rapid 96.5 FM. We're also streaming live on AF News, Abian TV, Iberic TV, and other online platforms. I think we will now move on to take from the print media. Ben?
All right, the man in black, and then he has a cap on his head, please. Over there. I can't really...
Mr. Wakamba.
Okay, Wakamba, yeah, that's right.
Your Excellency, I am Sunday Wakamba of the Punch newspaper. If you are to live 99 years, you will live up to 150 because Abians are happy with what you did, particularly this Umuahia Express Road. I mean, Umuahia Abia Tower Road. You did well, even though the sidewalks still has about 21 manholes open by the side. So that people are risking their lives crossing that thing by night. So it will be better if the government will look into that place and see how to cover them. They have not been stolen. So my question is that people are ready to follow you wherever you go because you've endeared yourself into their hearts. And recently, you conducted, the state conducted local government elections. And your party abysmally lost the Labour Party. Zenith took over Labour Party. YP came second. Labour is nowhere to be found. People want to know, where are you, sir? So that they will now follow you. Tell us, are you still in Labour Party or have you decamped? Thank you, sir.
His Excellency, after praying for you to get up to 150 years, he came and pulled out your leg from where you are. Why would you allow Labour Party to lose election? All right, still from the print media. Sonny, I can see your hand before we get down to the last person.
Your Excellency, my name is Sonny Wanko, and I write for the Nation newspaper, sir. I don't know if I will have your permission, sir, to make two submissions, appeals, coming from Abians before I go on with my question. There are people who were employed by the Ministry of Digital Economy in November last year. They came to us to say that we should beg you in this media chat, sir, that you please use your good office to instruct that at least they will be paid for the few months they've worked before they were finally laid off. The second one, sir, is coming from 100.
Sorry, can you explain that?
Okay, they were
employed?
They started working with the Ministry of Digital Economy, sir.
Who employed them?
I wouldn't know.
No, that's not true.
Okay, so
we haven't lifted the ban on employment. I've given no waiver until 2 weeks ago when I lifted the ban, employed 15 athletes, and closed it again.
Very quickly.
Okay,
please, let's maintain our question within just one.
Okay, sorry. My question. Let me leave the other one, sir, and go to my question, sir.
So that you will not be closed also.
Yes, so that I will not be closed. Your Excellency, recently you set up judicial panel of inquiry, and we understand that you have the report. But some days ago, or just about last week, a line came and to inform me and other colleagues that the developer has gone outside the order given by the Judicial Panel of Inquiry, restricting the developer from selling shops. I called the developer to at least hear from him, sir. But it was shocking, sir, one of the statements that he made, which a lot of persons had early expressed doubt over the Judicial Panel of Inquiry. The developer, in his words, said that a professor, a police officer, a professor, told him that the Judicial Panel of Inquiry is not constituted, is not legal, so to say, that apparently might not have that locus to either restrict him or to stop him from what he is doing, sir. The fear is this, sir, that the Judicial Panel of Inquiry, which you constituted, that you have the documents, sir, have spent time, their energy to do their work. Are they going to end up like the Chukudifo Oputa panel, that always, that whatever findings they made will not be implemented, or even the orders that they gave will not equally be carried out? Thank you, sir.
All right, His Excellency, that question was just like an essay. I hope you took note of his points anyway. All right, Vanguard.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. My name remains Steve Oko of Vanguard Newspapers. All right, Your Excellency, I wouldn't join Mwakama to pray that you live for 150 years because I think it's too much. All right.
His Excellency has not said he will not live up to 150
Within
years.
100 years, we'll be able to make marks. All right, Your Excellency, I like it that you also admitted there that you have time to go through the papers, you read stories, and of course, you are very digital. About 3 days ago, Northern governors, and of course, Arewa Consultative Forum, they were on the government, on the presidency, mounting pressure concerning the minors who were hungry, who were detained, and then the federal government had to reverse that the arraignment. Today is close to 2 years when you came on board with your colleague governors from the southeast. Our own son, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, has been languishing in detention. And it does appear that perhaps when few politicians of the southeast want to garner support and then be praised by the people, they will begin to mount Nnamdi Kanu. Good enough, Nnamdi Kanu is from Abia State, where you now superintend as the governor. can you please tell us efforts being made currently by you and your brother governors to ensure that it's released? Well, let me give you information. It's not a question anyway, because how I wish we think on some of the policies guiding this chart, because this is the only time you have with journalists. Let's purely make it a professional interaction. And those of us who will leverage on that opportunity to begin to convey to you the messages that the Andese should be, of course, making known to you. Maybe we'll limit that also. But Abians are saying you are doing well, except that some are feeling that your commissioner for works are not disclosing the amount involved in some of the road projects, because actually you are busy awarding road projects, and I can affirm that too. You are doing well, but let the commissioner for works also tell us, one, the kilometers involved, and then the amount involved, so that those who are doubting you will know that for sure that your government is very transparent. Thank you very much for your time.
All right, Steve, maybe I should start with you. There is no rule stopping anybody from knowing how much government spends on roads. But a lot of times when all those questions are coming, they are coming from people who are looking for straws to hang on to, and we simply ignore them. But if a genuine Abian like you, or who live in Abia, if you want to get any information, you can get it. Okay, but if it is for propaganda and for, even when we don't say anything, they manufacture numbers and go out there in the media space. Okay, so but one interesting thing that I would like to tell you, even today when I read out the 9 or 10 routes that we have awarded, I talked about the kilometers, how long they are. So that information is available. When we advertise them, we state the length of the road. So for genuine people who need information, they can always get information. But for miscreants who are jobless, who are looking for what to say, we are not going to be indulging them. So that is the way I will respond to that question. Now the issue of Nnamdi Kanu, I'm sure some of you know where I stand on the matter. And I have personally been engaging. All I want is for him to come out. I don't believe in media show, because after media show, if he doesn't come out, it makes no sense. A lot of our people have been engaging with the presidency. I've gone to the president myself and pleaded for him to be released, and I have assurance that he will be released. That is where I will leave it. I don't want to put everything in the media space, because it's not going to help him come out. Now, going back to, by the way, Steve, I hope you're happy with my responses. If you need information, exactly. And if you want to engage further, maybe you will be the one to invite me. And it will cost you something. You are ready? All right. Sonny Nwakama of the Punch. Thank you. You wished me 150 years, right? And Steve says it's too much. So maybe I'll take 100 and leave the other 50 so that you can share it with Steve. It's very unfortunate that by the time we finished with that road, that General Aguirre Boulevard, all the manholes were in place. But what has happened is that they were vandalized. You know how the people that sell and buy scrap. And that's why we came out with the scrap metal policy that I just signed yesterday, which criminalizes vandalizing public properties. So we are still thinking of the best way. What do we use? And the Commissioner for Works is here. We've been talking about it, but you can take it from me that we're going to solve that problem very, very quickly. The other question is, where am I? Labour Party, Zenny Labour Party, which other one? PDP, YPP, which other one? Well, I can assure you that I'm in Labour Party. That the crisis in Labour Party made a lot of our supporters go elsewhere. And like you rightly said, our people are very discerning. And our people know those that would deliver the goods. Like our people say, you know the child that you send out and he will not disgrace you. When they give him food, even if he's hungry, he will refuse to eat. And I believe that that's what has happened in this state. Right from the time I showed up to contest election in 2015. When I left PDP to join ABGA, our people followed me and I won that election then. If you were here by then, you will know. ABGA had not won even one councillorship seat before that time. And then we took almost half of the House of Assembly seats in 2015. So sometimes people don't recognize, or maybe they recognize and they don't take it serious, that political parties are simply platforms. And that when you model up things in your political party, you give advantage and you create opportunities for your competitors. And that's what happened in this last election. And I authorized my followers to join any political party that they felt that they liked. And majority of them went into other political parties. Of course, Labour Party also presented candidates, but the rest is now history. So direct answer to your question, I remain in Labour Party, and anytime I'm going to leave, that is if there is any need to leave, you will be properly informed. Okay? Sonny, I think we've dealt with the issue of Ministry of Digital Economy. There was no proper employment because there was no waiver. And so if anybody is claiming that he's being owed, maybe there's a private arrangement and you should go back to whoever is owing him. The question about judicial panel of inquiry, I would be surprised if the developer of A-Line, Ariaria, responded the way you said it responded. But I've made it very clear, even yesterday, when traders came to visit me, I made it very clear that everybody who genuinely owned shops at A-Line prior to the redevelopment or the new construction, that they have right of first refusal. So what that means is that if you genuinely own the shop, you will be given a shop. And it is only if you don't want that shop that somebody else. So if anybody is selling anything, he's just engaging himself in an exercise in futility because it will not stand. And I had said that even if in the unlikely event that an owner of a shop is hit by a bad or hard weather and is unable to afford the cost of the new shops, that the state government have negotiated with banks that will come and bridge the gap for them with some comfort from the state. So, and I believe that that is what stands. Every other thing anybody is saying is maybe they are trying to impress themselves. But let me also let you know that the Judicial Panel of Inquiry has submitted, like you rightly said, its report a few weeks ago. It is now at the stage of white paper. It's just like the Abia State University Visitation Panel submitted its report, and eventually a white paper was issued. So the professor that you refer to, assuming there's such a person that made that kind of comment, he may be technically correct because a white paper has not been issued. But once a white paper is issued, it becomes law. Okay? So I will be surprised if the developer responded in that manner, because I've had an interface with him and I've made it clear to him that no new owners will be introduced until existing owners have been allotted shops. The good news is that the number of shops coming out of the new airline will be more than the number of shops that existed before the redevelopment. So there are no issues. Okay? I guess that's about it. Turning it back to the moderators. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency. Once more, I'd like to remind us that we are live on BCA 88.1, 4.9 FM, Family Love 99.9 FM, Magic 102.9, Vision Africa 104.1, Real FM 99.1, Speed 95.3 FM, Rapid 96.5 FM, and we are streaming on AF News, Abians TV, Iberic TV, and other online platforms. We will now take questions from the radio. 3 questions. Remember, you're entitled to just 1, but 3 altogether. Ben.
Join nursery of Rapid FM. Please, somebody should get the microphone to her.
Thank you very much. My name is Joy Nochiri, representing Rapid FM. Your Excellency, sir, my question is just straight to the point. Recently, the Nigerian Union of Pensioners actually made a plea that you revisit the Memorandum of Understanding that was signed on their behalf. And they actually noted that at no time did they ever said that you should waive their entitlement, including their gratuity. My question is, will you be magnanimous enough to revisit that Memorandum of Understanding? Thank you, sir.
All right, still taking questions from the radio wing. The man in white and nothing on his head. Okay, Samson is a place. All right.
Good evening. My name is Samson Eze, and I report for Flow 94.9 FM. Mr. Governor, it's a pleasure to be here. I want to ask questions based on the financials of the state. A lot of issues have been raised about the audited report of the state as published on the government website. And I want to have you speak to those subheads. A recreational facility of 6.5 billion naira, ICT infrastructure of 2.46 billion naira, among other subheads. I just want to know if you would speak to some of those subheads so that we can get clarity. Thank you, sir.
All right, before we take the last question, this is just to remind our listener this evening that you can as well participate in tonight's media parley through our SMS line, and And the number is 0907 462 1067. Let me take that again. 0907 462 1067. All right, let's take from the man at the extreme there. Mr. Francis, yes. Obani. Okay, Obani. I apologize.
Good evening, Your Excellency, and good evening, dear colleagues. My name is Francis Mobani. I work for the Broadcasting Corporation of Abia State, BCA. Well, Your Excellency, a fortnight just like 2 weeks ago, you hosted the Abia Athletics that did very well at the last Paralympic Games in Paris, France. And also our young athletes that shone like million stars at the last Youth Games in Asaba Delta State. A most commendable and memorable event. At that event, sir, apart from giving employment to 14 athletes, I also promised that you will give a facelift to the Omaya Township Stadium, complete with running tartan tracks and a touch on the pitch, among other things. Sir, when is this project likely to commence? Because we know that the National Sports Festival, which is like the Nigerian Olympics, will be coming up next year, in the first quarter of next year. So when are we likely to see the commencement of this project, sir?
Your Excellency, you may now have to address those issues, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Joy and Nurture, Rapid FM, and National Union of Pensioners. I like the way you framed your question. Will I be magnanimous? But unfortunately, what you are asking is not what they are asking. What National Union of Pensioners seems to be saying is that they did not sign the agreement or they were deceived. Meanwhile, you have collected money. So if you didn't agree and you want it reversed, then return all the money. Somebody was sitting here, did not pay you for 10 years, and we sat down several weeks of engagement and had an agreement which they signed. And then all of a sudden, after collecting the money, they realized that they were deceived. So I don't know how you would treat that if you were in my shoes. That deceit. And that is not expected of them. The members of the union are very happy. They've been receiving 100% of their pension every month since April. It never happened in this state. Okay, so you collect the money, you agree, you sign, and all of a sudden you turn around after collecting money to say, oh, I did not know what I signed. Come on. So if you have a change of mind, the first thing to do, if you came without any deceit in your mind, is to say, okay, I've changed my mind, take your money back, and let's go back to status quo ante. But you are collecting them every month, I pay you. So, I don't know if maybe you need to advise them to say that, okay, they don't need to say they did not agree, they did not sign, they did not understand. No, now. So that's my response to that. Okay? I'm surprised that you are asking these questions that some people who have constituted themselves into opposition, operating from outside the country. are asking. I've refused to respond. If you understand numbers, you drill down. If you see a recreational facility, you query it. The numbers will be there. So it's not for me, ICT. It's a government. I think instead of those people that have made it a career, every day they will plot graph and all that, I think they should find something else to do. This government inherited a debt profile of about 191.2 billion naira on the 29th of May, 2023. They themselves inherited, my predecessors, on the 29th of May, 2015, inherited a debt profile of 34.5 billion, 29th of May, 2015. So today, or as at 29th of May last year, what was handed over to this administration was a total debt stock of 191.2 billion. Between 29th of May to the last quarter, this government has paid almost 90 billion out of the 191 billion. So we are owing actually less than 100 billion now. Because there are debts that are falling due and we must pay. This government has not borrowed 1 kobo. And I say without any fear of contradiction, 1 kobo from anybody. So that's the way to measure how effective government is. And government has been doing all the things it's been doing, building roads, cleaning up everywhere, getting our healthcare delivery system to work, paying pensioners, paying workers. So how are we doing it? Some people are asking how we are doing it. But some jobless, they say they are Abians until we confirm they are Abians. But they don't live here. Somebody said they should come here and come and say it. They should go to Aba and go and tell them. Okay, so I don't think we should reduce this media chat to responding to what some rascals are writing from outside the country. And this is a very serious media chat. And I would hate to spend your time trying to respond to some jobless people out there. Now, Francis Nwobani, thank you for your kind comments about athletes, even the young ones. And your question is, when will the facelift of the township stadium in Umuahia begin? Well, I'm also surprised you are asking, because anytime I say I'm doing something, I do it. That is what I'm known for. So if I have pronounced it, then it will be done. When will it start? I'm not sure, but it's already in the process, and it will be delivered. We also have the games that you spoke about in mind, and it will be ready before then, I can assure you. Francis, are you happy? Okay, thank you very much. I think that's about it. You have some on the online, right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Your Excellency, we've tried to merge some of the questions to save some time. Your Excellency, sir, we have it on good authority that the head of service of the state recently directed some directors on grade level 16 to proceed on retirement, even though the federal circular stipulates grade level 17 as the directors who ordinarily should retire upon attainment of 8 years in service. Don't you think, sir, that this policy will work untold hardship on these Abia local government workers and their families, considering the prevailing harsh economic situation in the country? They have neither attained 35 years of service nor 60 years as stipulated by the civil service rule as the ripe and right time for retirement. That's from Favor in there, and a similar one says, Your Excellency, the minimum wage recently received by the Abia workforce is not being enjoyed by staff of Asobadek, and they have not received their October salary. Informer from Umuahia. We'll take another one. Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Kelechi Prosper Oba from Aro, Ajatakiri in Iguano LGA. Having seen the ongoing road project scattered in all local government areas in Abia, permit me to address you as Mr. Project, sir. I humbly want to remind you on behalf of our dear community, Aro, Ajatakiri, of your promise to our community for the 4-kilometer road construction of Aro, Ajatakiri, Umigu, Obero Road, Tumbubo Junction. Onyekachi Umobia from Umobia also wrote in, the entire road in Umobia housing estate owned by Abseda is in a worse motorable state. We beg for help to access our houses. And the third one says, my name is Ifani. Okay. All right, sir.
Okay. Yes, you were running too fast. Favor in Naya, I guess that's the only name I got. Was asking that the head of service had asked directors who had spent 8 years and above to proceed on retirement. That is the policy. And we have implemented it to the letter since last year. And so if you have been a director for 8 years, it's not, the policy was not made today. If you have been a director for 8 years, you have to proceed on retirement. There is, retirement is not death sentence. It's actually another opportunity for you to use your life, useful life, to do something else. So if you've been in a place for a while, some people even voluntarily retire. I did so when I was in the banking industry. I don't think we should drag that. Then, because the minimum wage applies to everyone. And if they have not been paid for October, there must be an issue. Because the report I have is that everybody has been paid as of the 1st of November this year. And that was less than a week ago. So we will also check. The gentleman from Aro, Ajatakiri, thank you very much for your kind words describing me as Mr. Project. Even though I do not take titles and do not take new names. Yes, I remember that during the campaign, I had promised that that route will be fixed. Commissioner for Works, please, can you take note of that Aro Ajatakri road? I understand it's a 4-kilometer route. Please take note of that. I've said that road, a road that is leads to a housing estate. I'm also getting to know about it for the first time. Is that in Umuahia? Okay. So, Commissioner for Works, please take note. That shouldn't be a problem. Okay, so that's about what I took. You can now continue.
We're fine, sir. My name is Ifani. Sir, there is a levy going on in all the markets in Aba, which the amount is 18,000 naira. And they have started locking people's shops currently in our area now. Sir, please help us to verify this tax. Also, the Umuahia Ultra Modern Market, which is the only big and well-recognized market in Umuahia, is dying on a daily basis. The marketers have all relocated to Ishi Gate. Please, sir, we need your urgent intervention. We have one more. Your Excellency, sir, thank you for all you are doing for Abia and Abians. My question is about Abia State students in the law school. The set writing bar finals this week got a bursary from you around July this year, but the set that will be writing by February 2025 has not gotten theirs. Is the bursary a one-off thing, or will it get others too? Please, sir, there has been a deduction for National Housing Scheme from the local government staff for up to 5 years, and nothing is being heard, no account opening to that effect. What is our stand? Ugochukwu from Isia Langwa and Innocent Ikem. He says, sir, there has been a deduction for National Housing Scheme from the local government staff for up to 5 years, and nothing is being heard. No account opening to that effect. What is our stand? Ugochukwu from Isia Langwa and Innocent Ikem.
All right. Levy of 18,000 is in order. It's not an illegal payment. We had advertised it. The chairman of the board of Internal Revenue had sensitized traders, and the payment goes directly to the state account. So that's my response to that. Umuahia market, he said, is dying because traders are relocating to Isigate. Traders will still relocate from Isigate because the market is going to move, right? Yes, so we are trying to organize the town in such a manner that it will look like a proper state capital. Abia State law students, we had made payment for last year, and I believe that of 2025 is not yet here, but when the request comes, I believe we will approve it and disburse accordingly. Deduction for National Housing Scheme, Ugochukwu. I'm not aware of it, but I will ask that the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs looks into it. So please, if you do, you can send a position paper to the Honorable Commissioner so that we can get details of what you are talking about and respond appropriately. I guess that's about it, and that should be the end, right?
Yes, Your Excellency.
Thank you.
We'll now hand the microphone back to Mr. Ferdinand Ekoma.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, once again, we are drawing the curtain on today's edition, on this month's edition of Governor Alex Otti Speaks to Abians. So once again, I'll yield the floor again to His Excellency for his closing remarks. Thank you.
All right, so Abians at home that are here, to thank you once again for being part of this media parley for November. I want to thank you for all your support, and I want to encourage you to continue to support the government. The government is yours, and we make this a monthly ritual so that we can interact, so that I can also hear from you and respond to your issues and challenges. This government is a government that is committed to the welfare of the people. Not welfare of a few, but welfare of the people. We will continue to do the right things, in spite of whose ox is God. And the simple reason is that when you do the right thing, you can sleep easy. So I want to thank you once again for participating. The year is gradually coming to an end. A lot of activities are planned for the end of the year. The Diaspora Commission is hosting members of the diaspora, I believe, between the 22nd and the 23rd. There will be an influx of a lot of our compatriots and visitors during the month of December and early January for the Yuletide, and I want to appeal to everyone to help us in keeping the towns of Umuahia, Aba, and Ohafia, and other parts of Abia clean, and also respect all laws that are, particularly traffic laws. With the influx of vehicles, we believe that we need to ensure that the road remains safe without obstruction. We also want to announce that we are making arrangements in the light of the reduction or the removal of petroleum subsidy. We know that things are a bit more difficult than they were before now. So by the end of the year or early in the year, we intend to introduce electric vehicles, buses that will do intra and intercity connections. The laybys that we are doing, the bus terminals and the bus stops are supposed to be used for that purpose. So discussions have got to advanced stage, and we just want to make life easier for our people. We continue to pay attention on security, and please do not protect or harbor anyone who will put your life and the life of other citizens of the state in danger. Report to the nearest police station, nearest security agencies, and of course, there are hotlines that you can also call, and I believe that the security agencies will make those lines available for all of us to use. And once you report, you can be assured of the confidentiality and your protection while we go after those who insist that we cannot sleep without two eyes closed. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me thank you once again and wish you a good night's rest. God bless you.
So, we are standing for the national anthem, please.